All right, let's settle in. Everybody, wherever you are, just get comfortable in your physical self. And as a way to signify that we are letting go of all the distractions around us, just gently close your eyes. And just kind of marvel at this present moment where we have found ourselves. It becomes these stable spots in our day and our week, this showing up that we do. And so just notice how familiar it feels, how no matter what the activity was right before this moment, there's something settling about your arrival to your meditation time. And then within that same thought of marvel, begin to marvel at the way the breath just gently ebbs and flows, how you can lengthen it. You can make it a little more full in certain spots within you. And again, just be amazed at this experience that we get to each live. And as we're all settling in separately to the spaces where we are, collectively, let's begin to breathe together. So just take a nice slow inhale and a nice full exhale. And then breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling together and exhaling. And then you continue the rhythm as it works for you. And I want to bring us to this focus area tonight of some of the most important parts of this path, this journey that we are on. It's important to know all the important pieces so that we know the tools that we have access to even when meditation ends and life gets busy and stress and triggers begin to rise. All of a sudden we remember we have access to so many tools. We just got to remember to use them. And so as you're settling in, I want to just give you 3 Sanskrit terms, and then we're going to let each of those be the focus of our time. The first one is sadhana. Sadhana. When we translate that, it means practice. The second one is dharma. Dharma. We translate that, it means purpose. And the third one is Sangha. Sangha. We translate that one, it means community. And so just reflect for a second where you've been along this path, this meditation journey, this path of awakening, of working toward this higher level of consciousness. And just think how these 3 parts have already played a role in this journey we're each on. Your sadhana, your practice, your dharma, your purpose, your sangha, your community. And then I want to spend just a moment on each of these. Again, just shoring up our understanding that we have these tools, that we don't have to show up on our cushion to be able to access the things that we know are good for us. But rather we rise up from this spot at the end of this time and we take those tools with us. And the incredible thing is whatever system of religious belief or faith or understanding that you study or you look at through all the years across time, they all tell us the same thing, that we have these tools that are ours to use. The translations may be a little different from group to group and language to language, but the premise is the same. We don't just show up in isolation. We show up to remind ourselves of these tools. So sadhana, sadhana, your practice. For some of us, the practice is the meditation. For some of us, the practice is the asana, the physical parts of yoga. For others, the sadhana is the breath work. And for many of us, It's all of these things. Our practice means that we stay so in tune with ourselves that we know when it's time to regulate our emotions with our breath. We know when it's time to quiet the fluctuations of our mind with our meditation. And we know when it's time to remove or lessen the tension in our body with our yoga practice. And so your sadhana may look different from day to day and hour to hour. But the point of this is it is a tool. And the more in tune we are to ourselves, the more we know which aspect of our sadhana we need in this moment. Because tomorrow, as we wake up, new stress triggers are going to come. New unexpected things are going to cross our path. And we need to recognize when the emotions begin to rise up, how do we breathe? And when the frustrations begin to mount, how do we still our mind? And when the tension sets in and the body begins to ache, how do we move ourselves with purpose? Sadhana. It's a tool that we take everywhere we go. And then the second aspect of this journey toward awakening and higher consciousness is the tool of Dharma. Oftentimes when we're in meditation, I will ask, what is your purpose? What is my purpose? And it's not a question that we can just answer one time and then check it off the list and know that it's done. It's a question we keep asking because your Dharma will change over time. It's not something that you can just hang your hat on and know this is my purpose for the rest of my life, but this is my purpose now. And the beautiful thing is when you start to understand your purpose, your contribution to this world that's unique to you, you'll stop wasting energy on all the other stuff. You'll begin to preserve your energy because you want it to fuel your ability to live out your Dharma. It becomes easier to say no to certain things. It becomes easier to set boundaries because you want the storage of energy that you have to be used toward your Dharma, your purpose. Not letting our energy be wasted on other things. So sadhana, it's our practice. Dharma, it's our purpose. And Sangha, our community. I was listening to an audio recording of Thich Nhat Hanh this morning, and he talked again and again about this idea of the Sangha. And I could almost feel him smiling through the airways as he spoke. And he said, there are days where my energy is light and peaceful. And I'm a part of a Sangha, and I bring that light and that peace into our space because someone may need it. And then he went on to say that there are days when my spirit is heavy and my light is a little dimmer. And I still show up within this Sangha, this community. And then on those days, the peace and the light from others begin to bless me. It's a give and it's a take. It's this beautiful reciprocity of like-minded people seeking light and peace and calm and compassionate ways of living. The Sangha, the community. I've mentioned before that Deepak Chopra's goal now is that at least 1 billion people on our planet begin to have a meditation practice. And it's not a mathematical goal he's trying to reach. It's the fact that he wants the Sangha to grow. So whether we're sitting here in the middle of Texas or we're sitting across the world, we have people who want the same things we want. We want communities that are healed. We want safety for our children and our grandchildren to sleep at night. We want to be among people who are making good, responsible decisions. And when you find people who want the same things, it begins to bind you together. Whether you show up for meditation or you show up for yoga or you show up, whatever it is, you show up alongside each other. Our sadhana is our practice. Our Dharma is our purpose. Our Sangha is our community. And so what I'd like for us just to do in these few minutes of quiet, it's not really break those apart or start to evaluate how they look in your life. I'd like us to sit in gratitude of those three parts. Gratitude for the fact that we get to take them everywhere we go. You don't need a yoga mat. You don't need a cushion. You don't need a guide. These tools are within you. And so let's just sit and breathe and be and just focus on the gratitude. Gratitude for the practice. Gratitude for the purpose, even if you're not sure exactly what the purpose is today. And gratitude for the community. Even within the community, faces that you don't know, names that you've never heard, but knowing there's a community out there for you. There's a community here for you. So just breathing in, breathing out, fostering, nurturing gratitude for these tools that we have that are ours to access all day, all night long. Breathing in, I am grateful for my sadhana. Breathing out, I'm grateful for my practice. Breathing in, I am grateful for my Dharma. Breathing out, I am grateful for my purpose. Breathing in, I'm grateful for my Sangha. Breathing out, I'm grateful for my community. The yogic path was not one that was meant to be walked alone. It was meant to inspire us, to encourage us, to support us. So that even whenever we're not in the same physical space or even sometimes the same time zone, the same location, we know that there are other people just like us who every day work toward having a consistent, a regular sadhana practice. There are people just like us who are seeking to understand what their purpose is and then to use their energy toward that purpose. And there are also people just like us who need a sense of community. We don't have to know all the details of everyone's life. We just have to know there are people just like us who are seeking peace, and calm and compassionate ways of living along this path toward this higher consciousness, this connection to something bigger than us. So I would encourage you, as you go through the day, you go through the week, pause and be grateful. Whether you can remember the Sanskrit words or not, that is not important. Your sadhana is your practice. Your Dharma is your purpose. Your Sangha is your community. Nurture the gratitude for each and for all three. And see how that begins to change how you feel about the capacity you have with the tools that are within. Namaste.